You need to set it on gallery view.
Gallery view.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, hello everybody.
You need to set it on. Oh, sorry, my audio.
Sorry,
Okay.
we're late. We had technical difficulties. Zoom wanted us to update the application, I guess, but we are live. So, you want to get started, Sarah?
Yeah, so let's get quickly started since we had those bumps. I had a couple of questions. I know that you are starting your juicing journey. So, by the way, guys, she sells amazing natural organic juices. Just wanted to ask you, which one so far has been your favorite one that you've discovered yet?
I really like the beets one because I just like the color and the taste. I mean, it's sweet. I like all of them, but that one is just like, and watermelon too, because I mean, watermelon is just super refreshing. But those would be my two favorite ones, like right as of right now.
Yeah, I like the strawberry one. I actually don't like the beets one. I like beets,
Why?
but I don't like beets and juice. It
Oh,
just doesn't, I don't feel like it tastes normal to me.
have you tasted it though, the red one?
Yeah, I have. Wilmer likes that one.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it should be kept as a, see, the thing with me is I don't like vegetables in juices or shakes. So like spinach in my shakes, no, that's a no-go for me as well. I just like to stick with fruits and strictly fruits. Other than carrots. The carrot one is really good.
Yeah. You mean the orange one?
The orange one with carrots.
Yeah. I mean,
that one's really good.
I like both, but yeah, that would be, I guess, right now my favorite one. But I'll drink all of them. Like, I love them.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to get started since we started a bit late.
Yes. Okay. So basically, the topic of today is, do you dream? And I wanted to talk about, like, do you dream? Because I know that, like, especially during this time, maybe some of you stopped dreaming, stop planning ahead, stopped thinking ahead. And because I know that at one point I did, I was like, should I even plan for this, because we don't know how things are going to get in the future, so I think that this is very important. Like, if you are still dreaming, if you're still envisioning things. And the verse that I want to kind of talk about, based off of what we're going to talk about, is Habakkuk 2, chapter 2, verse 2. It's from 2 to 3. And it says, "Then the Lord told me, I will give you my message in the form of a vision. Write it clearly enough to be read at a glance. At the time I have decided, my words will come true. You can trust what I say about the future. It may take a long time, but keep on waiting. It will happen."
Wow.
Excuse me. And so the first point I kind of want to talk about is, do you have a vision? What is your vision? What is your dream? And maybe something God has spoken to you, maybe, through a prophecy, or maybe internally, God has spoken to you. But I think that we all have dreams, and we all have something that, we envision ourselves as in the future. And I just wanted to, talk about that. Like, what is that dream that God has placed inside of you? And where do you envision yourself, 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now? Do you envision yourself in a better situation? Do you envision yourself the same? I think that it's important to envision yourself, in better than you are right now. And I think that a lot of situations can a lot of times cloud our dreams and make them a little, like, not so clear and not so reachable sometimes. because sometimes the current circumstances that we're at don't always add up to where we want to be or where we want to go. Almost all the time it doesn't, it doesn't seem like we're going to get there. It doesn't seem like we're going to reach the goal. um, but that's where faith comes into play. You know, God has given us faith to believe, you know, in what is not seen and what you can't see in front of you. And so yeah, like that's what I want to talk about. Sorry, there's a fly. um and then on my second point, and I'm gonna run through them a little quicker just because we started late. And on my second one, I wanted to talk about how to make your dreams and goals known. So for example, you know, you have a dream of, you know, like we're talking about juicing. You know, I had that vision of creating juices once I started juicing. And so I started letting people know that I was thinking about, you know, selling juices. And so that's what I mean by that point, like make people like known your dreams and goals. Of course, there's certain dreams and goals that you can let, you know, certain people know. And then there's dreams and
Right.
goals where you have, you know, your inner circle where, you know those people are going to push you and they're going to encourage you about a certain dream and goal. um and there's just certain dreams and goals that you just keep, you know, within your, I don't know, your spouse or your you know, family. But you know, you always have to analyze, you know, is this, if I say this, are they going to discourage me, are they going to bring me down? You always want to analyze if, you know, the territory of where you're letting your dream known, because sometimes when you let your dream known and you're not sure if you're going to do it, somebody that maybe is not for you might kill your dream, or somebody that maybe doesn't want to see you prosper or, you know, achieve your dream might kill your dream. And so
Yeah, I think that's very important what you said. I think you should really know who to tell your dreams.
mhm,
Because a perfect example of this is Joseph. Joseph told his dreams to his brothers, and his brothers obviously had envy and hatred towards him. So
yeah,
the first thing they did was plan against him and plan against that dream. So yeah, that I think I totally agree and think that's very important, that you should have that discernment to know who to tell your dreams or when to tell them.
yeah, yeah, that's true. So I wanted to, you know, talk about that point about how it's important for you to, you know, really choose who you're going to tell your dreams, but also make them known. Because once you make them known,
Mhm.
sometimes there's people that are going to help you with that dream. You know, there's people that can help you with something they have, or even with their time, or with some type of resource. And you know, a lot of times you know, people are willing to just support what you're doing, you know, if you have the right vision. And so my third point is, or which is, you know, to me very important, is to write the vision or goal down. I remember when um, I was going to get married, and I was 20 years old. This was 7 years ago. And well, I started, let me backtrack. I'm sorry. I'm fast forwarding. Let me backtrack. When I was 15, around there, you know, I didn't know who I was going to get married with, but I knew that I wanted a wedding. You know, I wanted a nice wedding. And so I started planning my wedding, and I started writing details of what I wanted, the dress, the decoration, the cake, everything. And so one of the two things that I wrote down and I drew out, because I didn't really find pictures at the time for it, was the vase, um, the centerpiece. I wanted it to have goldfish inside the centerpiece swimming around. And so I drew it out with my raggedy drawing skills. But I'm not a drawer, but I drew it how I could. And so fast forward to when I got married at 20 years old, those were the actual centerpieces that I had. And so it's just one small example of how writing
Yeah.
things down like makes it come to pass. And so another example I can use is when I was 17 years old. Was it 17? Yeah, I was like 17 years old. um i I didn't know who was going to be my husband at the time. I did, have feelings for Tony and everything, but I was confused. I was like, I don't want to marry somebody that is not, who you have for me, God, because I could have feelings for Tony at the time, but I could make the wrong decision, because I don't know the future. I don't know if this is the right person. There's a lot of, I think, uncertainty before you get married. A lot of times you're scared. A lot of people
Yeah.
before marriage, they get scared because they don't know about the future. They don't know what if, this person is this way before I'm married with that person, but what if they're another way once I get married with them?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of those fears were in me. But what I did is I took an advice from my mom and I started writing down what I wanted in a husband. And this I did without focusing on me having feelings for Tony. I removed that aside and I just wrote what I wanted in a dream husband in my head. And so I did that. I wrote down what I wanted. And two of those things, I don't know where I left this list because I've looked for it for years and I can't find it. But I wrote this list down, and two of those things that I can remember I wrote down was I didn't want my husband to like soccer or to like video games. That's just my personal preference, but those were my two of the things that I can remember that I chose. And so fast forward, when the day that I received, like a peace in my heart that he was my husband, like he, I learned from him that he didn't like soccer. He used to play it with, with friends, but he didn't like soccer. And I never saw him play video games. He never liked video games. Once I got married with him, he never even plays games on his phone. So that's just a small example, like, of how important it is to write things down. If it's for, a business, or if it's because you want to graduate, or it's because you want, you want to get married in the future with the right person. Like it's just, even in the smallest detail, it's important to write things down. And like the verse says, uh you can trust that it will come to pass. Like if you just keep on waiting, it will happen. But you have to write it down. You have to be detailed. Writing somehow takes you one step closer to reaching it. I don't know what it is, but it just makes it more real. And it there's something that happens in the atmosphere that like pushes you towards it, and it expands your belief in it coming true. And it helps you, it reminds you also, because you can forget about what you wrote. When you read it, you remind yourself, oh, this is what I'm working towards, this is what I'm looking for. And so yeah, like that's what I wanted to talk about today. And I know we're taking a little longer just because we started a little late, but I just wanted to also input here that of research that they did, that it's proven by a study of Harvard MBA grads in 1979 that while only 3% of a graduating class indicated that they had written goals for themselves, 3% went on to earn 10% as much money as the 97% combined. So this graduating class of 1979, 3% of those people were the people that wrote things, goals down and to reach them. And 97% didn't. So this 3% are the 3% that it ended up earning 10 times more than the 97% combined. So this is just like an example, and it just proves it, with research, that writing things down and working towards it is something super powerful. And I just wanted to share that because that's something that is very big in my life. I write things down with me and my husband, but we also constantly get together and sit down and talk about what we're working towards. And I think that in this busy life, sometimes we don't take time to just sit down and write down. I mean, it takes 15 minutes sometimes to just write down what you're dreaming about, what your goals are, where you want to be. And it's something that will help you more than just working towards it, you know,
Yeah.
writing it down. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And I don't know if you have something that you wanted to add.
I mean, I think it's like you said, it's very important to write stuff down. More like because you're like seeing it. It's like you as if you're releasing it. And I mean, if we go back to the Bible too, it's like having faith. Like having faith is seeing what is not there as if it was.
Yeah.
So you know, when you sit down and you just like try to meditate on what exactly you want or where you want to be or the things you want to do or the goals, etc., it gets you towards that mindset. It's not like just an idea. Well, now it's written down. Now it's actually a game plan that we put for ourselves. So just thinking about it, it's just an idea. But the thing is that we are so quick to forget about those because we do live in a busy life and everything. But once it's written down, it's like, okay, this is where I want to be. Am I there yet? Like you can go back to it and examine yourself, whether it's a dream or a vision or whatever it is. But yeah, I feel like there's so much power to that. And then one thing you said was like we said before, your second point is we have to share it with like the right people because there will be people out there that will help you towards it. So for example, like when my husband wanted to start with this company, Tony was a big factor in it that was motivating him or teaching him how to do stuff or you know, teaching him how to do estimates and etc. or the quotes, pricing, everything. So I think you do need to surround yourself with the right people as well because those are the people that are going to impulse you towards the dreams that you have as well.
Yeah, that's so true. And yeah, like it's just it's really important for you to have a circle of people or
Mm-hmm.
at least one person that can, you know, that if you tell them a crazy like dream that maybe looks ridiculous at the time, you know, that one person will believe in your dream, you know, and push you towards it. I think it's really important because it's just not worth living this life without dreaming and having goals and visioning yourself better than you are today. I think,
Right.
yeah, like I think that it's very important to dream in this life. And I think a lot of people um can easily, including me, let circumstances let situations just basically cloud their dreams, or you know, shut their dreams down, or make them think that their dreams or whatever they were aspiring to do is not going to happen. But I think that we need to always, you know, persist in what we're dreaming, in what we're envisioning to do in the future, and not give up, because I think that a lot of times we give up too easily. We sometimes give up on the first time that it doesn't work. And
Yeah.
I think that is important to keep trying. You know, the a lot of successful people in this life, in this, you know, throughout history, they've tried more than once. So I think that, you know, whatever it is you want to be, you know, maybe you want to get a certain degree, or maybe we're working towards creating a business, or maybe, you know, you want just, I don't know, because this, I know there's different ages watching. Maybe you wanted a certain like bike, or I don't know, a phone or something, you know, because we have different ages watching. You have different goals at different ages. Whatever it may
Right.
be, like write it down and work towards it, you know, and always envision yourself better than today. um
Mm-hmm.
and your dreams and goals always, you know, they don't have to be materialistic. They can also be, you know, maybe I want to be a more positive person, or I want to be a better friend or whatever, you know. There's things that you can write down, and it'll help you actually become what you want to be. Because I know one of the things that I wrote down, I think in 2016, was, this was what, 4 years ago, that I wanted to be healthier and I wanted to exercise consistently. This didn't happen in a consistent form until February, so, you know, of this year. So, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, you can write things down that you, of things that you want to improve upon yourself. And if you keep, you know, if you keep looking at it, if you keep, you know, if you wrote it down, it will eventually come true. You know, you just have to work towards it, and just let God guide you with your dreams. Because we can always dream things and aspire to do things, but sometimes God has different things in mind, or something not exactly to what you have planned, you know, or dreamed about. But I think it's very important to be open to what God wants to do in your life,
Yeah.
and with your dreams, because what he wants is always way better than what you want. So
Yes, I agree with that.
yeah, so this was basically what our table talks was about today. I hope that, you know, you guys were inspired, or it was helpful in one way or another. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys. So we'll see you next in 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks. What date is that?
That would be the 29th.
29th. Okay, so we'll see you guys on the 29th.
Yes. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.